here is the walking through that actually stage 4 can be reversed.
Stage 5. Yeah, end stage,
yeah.
end stage, yeah.
Well,
on
so
hemodialysis, on
the
the regular
it doesn't
HG.
go downhill, that it can go actually uphill. So the whole story how started with my husband was that and actually that's another part of the story. Everything started with his heart attack. 2017, make it like fast, we were on the airplane coming from Ecuador, and he got a major heart attack on the airplane. We didn't know that it was major. He didn't want to get off the airplane, so we just stuffed him with the, what was it?
Aspirin, Alka-Seltzer.
Aspirin, Alka-Seltzer. So the symptoms were he had major pain in his chest and was going to his jaw. We got home, that was Saturday, got home. Sunday, the pain subsided, and Sunday he was just very tired. He didn't want to go anywhere. Monday we called the doctor. The nurse said, "Oh, you don't have a pain, so you don't have to come today." Tuesday, they scheduled him for Tuesday afternoon. We got there first, and when the doctor was late, blah, blah, blah. They took EKG, and the doctor comes to the room, and he's like, wow, you are still alive. That was the reaction, really, absolutely great. So they didn't let him even to walk. Their office was like 5 minutes walk to the hospital. They put him on a wheelchair, and so you need to have stents done. We're going to do angiography and see which arteries are blocked, and we're going to put stents in. Not even the same doctor. It's typical United States healthcare system, which rather, I don't know if you are going to promote that, but it's criminal what's going on, that they kill people rather than they help them. And I am very, very serious, because what I experienced last 1.5 years was really they were killing my husband. And if I would not be there, most of the time, he is not even here. And I had to fight all the time. It was just like I am on a blacklist, had notes everywhere, be aware of her. But you know what? You're fighting for the life of your loved one. So they did angiography. They told me, oh boy, it's going to take 20 minutes to find out which artery is blocked. I was waiting outside. It was like 7:30 in the evening. So they take him to the operation room, and I'm waiting outside. In half an hour, they tell me, yes, we found which artery is blocked. We need to put 5 stents in. I was like, oh my goodness. So, but it shouldn't take a long time. Then waiting there, nobody even cared until like 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock at night, I was like, what's going on? Well, we had some complications, and he actually is still in the operation room. The doctor is going to come out. The doctor comes out, and this is the story. So he was able to put only 1 stent in, and he perforated his cardiac artery and got him into cardiac arrest, had to intubate him. So he was on the machine. When person who walks in the hospital on his own and in really great condition, I see in ICU who is deeply sedated, heavily sedated, doesn't even know what's going on. So they basically, like, that was the first part. Then second part was that they transferred him because they said, well, this is your life. We can't do anything else for you. I said, no, that's not going to be. And then they transferred him, put more stents in, did not work. Then they did actually after that they found out that he has severe mitral valve regurgitation, which was never shown before. So they didn't know, like, even how did it happen, where he got that. So then the stents didn't work. He could not breathe. He could not take 2 steps, stopping and catching for his breath. So they did mitral valve clip, where he got severely anemic after that. We didn't know why. And so they got him to the hospital, and he was actually on anticoagulants, heavy anticoagulants. They had to take him off. There were some other things which I don't even want to mention, which was there, but they had to do blood transfusion. They had to do another test, so they had to take him off the anticoagulants, and they were going to send him home. And I said, no, he's on. And they said, like, he needs to recover, and then we're going to do open heart surgery, replace his valve. So at that point, I said, no, stayed in the hospital. They did the open heart surgery. He was doing fine after that for about 2 weeks, absolutely great recovery, and then suddenly, boom, down completely, really, really bad. And so couldn't breathe. He was getting swollen. His kidneys stopped working. And they told, first we couldn't actually figure out what's the cause. So top nephrologist from Stanford actually diagnosed him, and he found out that it's atherothrombosis, and it hit his kidneys the hardest. So then they said, well, this is it, being on the dialysis. Then they put him on dialysis because kidneys were not working. And on the top of that, it's like you have in, 3 months, 5 months, 5 months, person who was full of energy, alive, and he is just crippled, and nobody can help. Well, I'm not the person who gives up. So, I believe in energies and the universe. And they mentioned when we first came to the hospital, he was transferred, stem cells. And says, well, down the road, we're going to do open heart surgery, and down the road maybe stem cells. But the universe works a very interesting way. And I went to a conference, and of course, Michael always went with me everywhere. This was a time he could not. And that was in April, and that's where I met, some of you know AJ from Miami, and his mesenchymal stem cells. And that's where I met AJ and started my our path on stem cells. So I ordered mesenchymal stem cells there, which we needed to improve Michael's heart, because he could not breathe. So he was on oxygen all the time, besides being on dialysis. So it was really, really difficult. So then we started with the mesenchymal stem cells. Then I went to Miami to a conference last year where I got introduced to exosomes. I heard about exosomes. I got introduced to exosomes, but I met another colleague. Some of you know her, Olga, and she was like, we kind of like clicked, and she says, well, there is a conference in San Diego, and it's regenerative medicine. You should guys go. Now, at that time also, we started with Michael apheresis because his LDLs were really high. We couldn't lower them, and then the fibrinogen. So the apheresis helps reduce that. So we started, and I had a colleague whom I worked with before. There are very few places in the States who do apheresis, and it's very expensive. So we found out that actually San Diego, UC San Diego works with apheresis, so that was another way why we went down to, another reason why we went to San Diego. Michael's condition at the time was really, really, really bad. And again, how the universe works, that's where I met Dimitri, and that's where I met Mike. And so, you know how Mike is, everybody knows Mike. You need to come to Malaysia. And we was like, well, you know, we can help. Then we spoke with Dimitri there and says, I am 100% sure I can help with the heart. It's going to take some time, but kidneys, no, it's not going to work. And I said, you know, Dimitri, what can I lose? Let's just try. So, but because, and we were talking about doing precursor stem cells, but Michael's condition was not to that point that he could fly. Even to San Diego, we drove. So, because the airplane was just too dangerous for him. So, Dimitri was like, you know what, but we need to actually get him into a little better condition so he can fly. So we started with mitochondrial organelles specific for heart and kidneys. And well, we did some other stuff, like for example, which like the enzymes, like we did nattokinase and serrapeptase, which really, really helps a lot. It improved with the mitochondrial organelles, the kidney part. But what we saw actually have, you know, after like few weeks receiving the MOs for heart, how much his actually breathing improved. That was amazing, really, really amazing. Him being all the time, we had the big actually generator for oxygen. He could not walk even without that oxygen. And suddenly you are having the person like, you know, just having portable oxygen or slowly but surely reducing that. So that was one part, and it's kind of like it's so a lot, and I don't want to, you know, take too much of your time. But also what was happening at the time, you know, I always research. I always try to see what else can be done. So we found out about ECP, which is extracellular, I always forget what it stands for. What it does basically, it's a machine which by pulsation puts a pressure and it develops collateral circulations. So because of some of his heart, you know, vessels were blocked, so this is a small circulation. It's mostly used actually for angina, but and for people who cannot have, like older people, open heart surgery. So I started to explore that, and we did actually at that time hard muscle availability test. What was that? Bioviability test. And you know, the cardiologist, and this was like what, after 3 months, 3 months using MOs. We didn't even do actually stem cells yet at the time. And they did the test. So first, his heart, actually going back, the myocardial infarction was showing that even it was big, his muscle was not at first that affected, even after 5 months of the open heart surgery. But it suddenly, and I think was the atherosclerosis, which caused a lot of damage on the kidneys and the heart, so because they are so related. So we still were trying to improve because he had a lot of edema on his legs. They were really, really swollen. So what we were trying to reduce that, but to be able to qualify for the ECP, they had to do bioviability test. And at that time, he was taking MOs for 3 months. And the cardiologist was shocked because he saw actually on the test that his heart muscle in 3 months is recovering. I don't know what was the percentage. You have somewhere the pictures also, I don't remember. But they were, absolutely amazed. Just with the MOs, yes. So he still has sometimes, the swelling. We are not there yet. But then after that, we got Michael off dialysis. We already planned. We knew that we need to do stem cells. There was no way that we go without stem cells. But everybody, we all were surprised. It was like a shock that 2 weeks before, because we planned to go to Germany for the stem cells treatment, and 2 weeks before we went, the nephrologist calls us, you know what, you need to come and you're going to get off dialysis, like that. We both were like, what?
Just from the MOs?
Yes. It was just, it's like, what's the percentage of the people?
The GFR, the initial GFR was 9. It's like a deep end-stage renal failure. And at the best, the GFR was 41. Well, it always up and down, 33, 37, 39, 41. It's like that because of the creatinine, it's
it was even low. But it was very low.
It's
very
from the end-stage renal failure to the 3B. That's a miracle.
Yeah.
To me, it's clearly, it's a miracle. Things like that, they just almost never happen, in medicine. I think it's a great luck. It's a great honor for us.
No, it's not luck. I wouldn't call it luck. No, it's the.
We should write a book.
You know what it is, and a lot of you would not believe it. A lot of you would, but it's the energy. And it's the healing part which Michael put to it. His energy to talk to his kidneys. He talks to his kidneys
every day.
Every day. And the shock, and that's the part which he can tell you, the shock which the patient, when they are in this stage, is, and how the Western medicine is treating it, they put people to more depression. And so you need actually the positive energy so people can heal, not to you killing them twice, basically. Killing them with medications and killing them with actually the approach which is there. But so we did stem cells in actually Villa Medica. Everybody was like waiting there. Oh my God, we're going to have a very, heart patient. He's on dialysis. They were like, who is this? No. So it's absolutely unbelievable stuff. And you just guys like this is why we are doing, why we are here, and that's why we are going to work with the company, because we really believe in the product which they have. And these guys, and this is a jewel of the
Thank you
company.
very much.
Yeah.
Guys, that's a great honor, for all of us. Thank you. Thank you.